Hello everybody. Live streaming is one of the best ways to make money, especially if you're not good at anything. Streamers have no interest in actually being entertaining. That's exactly why they have unconsenting YouTubers do it for them, all while sitting around doing absolutely nothing and making more money than them.
All right, pool sand? Pure salt. Pool salt. Salt?
Oftentimes, I make the poor decision to check out what some of the top streamers on YouTube and Twitch have to offer. IShowSpeed seems to do nothing more than just screech like a banshee and dance around. You probably think that's a disingenuous assessment of his content. That's because you're stupid. Hassan Piker is my personal favorite special needs streamer, as all he does all day is read articles and chew on his nicotine gum way too loud. Have some self-control, Hassan. Your sex addiction is already bad enough. Women do not like men who can't control themselves. That's why Hassan has to fuck prostitutes all the time. Or what about Pokimane, who is the most privileged person on the planet that's still allowed to pretend that she's a victim? She has everything going for her. She's rich, attractive, and white passing, but since she's a woman and has African descent, she gets to complain about literally everything. Typically, people with privilege aren't allowed to do that. In fact, despite me being lower on the social hierarchy, Pokimane still gets away with complaining much more than I ever could. I haven't eaten in 2 days. I can't afford food, but those are just Twitch streamers. Who does YouTube have? Well, fuck. They don't really have anybody. That's actually not true, though. They do have one top dog, IShowSpeed. IShowSpeed is very similar to IShowSpeed, and no, it's not because they're black. I mean, they are black, but that's not the reason. They both have very similar content styles, as they just make millions of dollars doing nothing all day, but screeching like retards. Aiden Ross also falls into this category, but the only difference is that people actually already don't like Aiden Ross, so I don't feel the need to try to convince you of that, but I do need to convince you to buy my merch, because I'm not doing well. Link in the description for epic shirt and epic swag. Also, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know, what's your favorite pasta shape? For me, I like a nice rotini. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hand. You may be asking, Nate, why are you talking about IShowSpeed? What did he do? To that I say, don't be patronizing. You know exactly what happened. IShowSpeed swung his dick around on livestream. I can't show the clip because his wiener is in it, but it did happen. However, let me tell you, I have been analyzing this clip, okay? Frame by frame, non-stop. For the last 4 days, I have just been doing nothing but watching this video. You may be saying right now, like, Nate, that's kind of gay, you know, to stare at a dude's dick for 4 days straight. Well, let me tell you right now, if I was gay, I certainly wouldn't tell you about staring at dicks, that's for sure. So I am super straight. I am so straight. I've tried to figure out what happened this entire time, but overall, my analysis came back inconclusive. And I can't keep staring at IShowSpeed's wiggly wiener all day. I mean, you know, 4 days, that makes sense, but 5 days, all right, it's starting to get a little weird. So I'm gonna have to analyze all of Speed's past controversies to understand what really happened here. Because some people speculate it was intentional. Other people don't. Despite only being 18 years old, IShowSpeed has found himself in a wide variety of controversies. This is probably the main reason why I've seen some people say they believe it's a publicity stunt. Now, to play devil's advocate for a second, intentionally whipping your soft dick out on a YouTube live stream as a publicity stunt, knowing damn well you won't get banned for it since you're the biggest streamer on the platform, is actually kind of genius, or it would be, but IShowSpeed is a fucking moron, mainly because he's 18 years old, and people that young are barely human. I genuinely believe anyone under the age of, like, 20 is a second-class citizen. Like, no offense. You guys are just really fucking stupid. IShowSpeed started his career in 2019. However, he didn't start to see real traction until 2021, when people would start reposting his clips from his live streams to TikTok. Oftentimes, rather than doing anything interesting, Speed would just scream really loud, overreact to everything, and make silly faces. Because if there's one thing TikTok users love, it's sensory overload. However, very quickly after Speed would achieve virality, he would find himself in controversy. In December of 2021, he would be featured on an e-dating show hosted by Aiden Ross. The clip in question features Speed as well as Ash Cash. Who is Ash Cash, you may be asking? I don't fucking know. In this clip, IShowSpeed poses a hypothetical question, pondering if they were the last two people on Earth, if she would be willing to fornicate and procreate with him. Her answer was no, which typically is good enough for people who aren't stupid. But unfortunately, since IShowSpeed was 16 years old during this clip, he is by default extremely stupid. So he says this.
Would you reproduce with me?
No, because that means our kids will have to intertwine and then their kids, no.
Who gonna stop me?
I will.
Who's gonna stop me?
I will.
If we the last two people on Earth, who gonna stop me? You're not stopping me!
So you did hear that right. IShowSpeed's first controversy was him literally threatening to rape a stranger. Which obviously, you know, this was a joke. I don't think he's serious at all. And personally, I'm fine with jokes. But, you know, maybe not towards a stranger. Also, if you're gonna make a joke, it better be a good one. Otherwise, you just sound like an insensitive dick. And to make it even worse, after he was voted out of the competition, he rejoined the call and starts swearing at her and like calling her names and like continues to make sexually degrading comments towards her. IShowSpeed was banned for this interaction because this is bad. This is not a good thing. So it's already very clear that IShowSpeed has extremely poor judgment. Let's keep that in mind moving forward. Because a few months later, an old clip of IShowSpeed playing Valorant would resurface. In the beginning of the clip, he calls a fellow teammate a monkey. I don't feel comfortable commenting on this because IShowSpeed is black and maybe he wants to reclaim that term. So it's not my business. I also gain absolutely nothing from it. But at this point, he seems relatively agitated until a woman starts telling him that he sucks ass, at which point he becomes furious at her and tells her that she's a bitch and should go wash her husband's dishes. Now, let's make this clear. I grew up in MW2 lobbies, okay? I have probably heard every goddamn word that has ever existed in those lobbies. In fact, from the ages of 12 to 14, I've probably heard and said every single racial slur ever conceptualized. I'm not even gonna lie. So I don't necessarily have a problem with the action itself. Like this is just how online games work. However, I do feel a little uncomfortable with the visceral reaction he has once a woman tells him that he's bad. She said exponentially less words than the other guy who he was arguing with. In fact, she only had to say one sentence in order for Speed to just see red and start like hurling insults at her. So while the action of shit-talking people in video games and insulting them for immutable characteristics is totally fine in my book, don't get it wrong, at least be consistent. And don't let your underlying biases shine through because at that point, it's more than just talking shit. It makes you look like you genuinely have a problem with women. And it makes that first clip we talked about seem a lot more real. Like it seems like he genuinely actually has no respect for women. I mean, he was young, so I mean, maybe he's grown from that, but still. Also, Speed was banned for this. I personally don't agree with that. I don't think he should have gotten banned for this, but I do understand why he was banned from it because Valorant is for pussies. Later in the year, IShowSpeed would stream himself playing Minecraft using a mod called the Jenny mod. In this mod, you get to have sex in Minecraft with a character named Jenny. As to why he thought this would be good content is beyond me. Speed would proceed to get a blowjob from his Minecraft girlfriend. Which by the way, that's not content at all, and there's nothing funny about it, it's just a blowjob. The only people who find blowjobs funny are people who are not legally old enough to be shown images of blowjobs. And also, there was 90,000 people in that stream, so there were definitely some minors in there, which is super illegal. To be fair, most of the people who saw this whole situation probably aren't affected by it, but that doesn't change the fact that it's like not only really unethical, but it's so high risk, low reward. Like the content that you get out of this is not worth the risk of punishment. And he was punished for this. He got a strike, which means he couldn't stream for like a week, I think. And keep that in mind, by the way, okay? Minecraft blowjob will get you in trouble on YouTube. Keep that in mind. That same month, IShowSpeed set off a bunch of fireworks in his own house. I could say a lot about that, but I don't think I need to. IShowSpeed also promoted a crypto scam in November of 2022. I don't really care about this, mainly because anyone stupid enough to purchase something because IShowSpeed told them to deserves to lose everything. It's also kind of just the industry standard at this point to scam your audience, which reminds me, merch, I got it, you want it, buy it. A month later, Speed was also in controversy for being racist towards an Asian person, with him saying things like konnichiwa and bang bang bong. Fuck, it's funny, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna be honest, I don't give a fuck about this. I mean, the person in the video, they didn't seem to care all that much. They were smiling, they were laughing. On top of that, Speed is an absolute brainlet. I don't expect him to be socially conscious about race or anything like that. Also, I've made jokes like that on my channel, so I have to be consistent. But now now we get to the best part of the video, because IShowSpeed whipped his cock out in front of 25,000 people. Bruh, oh my god, guys, this is so epic. Can we get 50 likes for IShowSpeed's cock and balls? Leave a fire emoji in the comments section to let me know. Lock in your like in the comments section. I am fucked. So this entire situation has become a meme now, and people are calling him IShowMeat, which is pretty clever, but I think IShowPeen rolls off the tongue a lot more. Now, I mentioned earlier there has been some speculation online that this was actually intentional. I doubt it, but maybe. Like I said, the idea that Speed whipped his cock out as a publicity stunt knowing that he's essentially immortal on YouTube is unfortunately more likely than I'm willing to admit, but he can also not do that. IShowSpeed can do lots of things to get publicity that doesn't involve swinging his cock around. I think the main reason that people are like suspicious of the situation is like, number one, like I don't even know how your cock just flies out of your zipper like that. It's fucking insane. But also number two, IShowSpeed is well known for doing insane shit on stream, and all of the controversies I listed in this video happened in the span of like 12 months. Like he actively engages in like controversies and doing insane shit on stream. It's kind of his thing to just push the envelope of being an absolute menace and nuisance to society online. But also, this entire situation just seems super unlikely. If you haven't seen the clip, he pretty much just stands up, starts air humping, and then his dick flies out. And I noticed that right as he's standing up, he like flips his arm up, and it kind of looks like he's just like swinging his flinging his clock fuck. But he kind of like lifts his arm up and like does this, like he's like whipping his cock out. I don't know, maybe I'm fucking crazy. And the fact that this happened like a few months after he turned 18 and it didn't happen before he was a minor, I don't know, it does seem very weird. Let's pretend for a second that this is definitively a publicity stunt, all right? Why? Well, what if hypothetically IShowSpeed was trying to get banned from YouTube? It would obviously be like a huge topic of discussion. I mean, people are already talking about it now, and if he got banned, he would have to find a new place to stream. His name would be in circulation, and everyone would be talking about where is he gonna go stream now? And obviously Kick and Rumble have been handing out insane deals lately. And with somebody like Speed, who's pulling like I don't even know how many, thousands and thousands of viewers on average, would get a massive fucking deal. And obviously he would lose a bunch of money by not being able to upload on YouTube, but like the contract money plus his donations plus the paid subscriptions, like I think he would be fine. And plus it's not like he's like a YouTuber who uploads all the time. He's a live streamer first. So I don't think it would actually be that big of a deal. I feel like that does make sense, but that's also like a huge stretch, obviously. Because even then it's like, why would you whip your cock out? I feel like there's other ways to get banned that when you could do the same exact thing, right? Maybe it's fake. Maybe it's a fake cock. I have no fucking clue. And while I don't think it was intentional, I think there's a lot more credence to it being a publicity stunt than most people are willing to admit. But once again, I really don't think it is. I think that's a little too far. But believe it or not, it doesn't even matter. IShowSpeed was not and is not going to be banned for this. I'm really confused as to why. It's probably because YouTube doesn't want to ban him, like I said earlier, like he's like the biggest streamer on the platform. But he's good. In fact, he even responded recently.
Just because you ain't have no clean fucking underwear. You ain't have no clean underwear, so you put on some goddamn pants. Some pants. How would you feel? Don't tell me to fucking calm down. Every time I open up my phone. Family.
The way Speed is reacting right now, it can't possibly be genuine. Like, if that's genuine, Speed needs to be institutionalized because he's fucking deranged. But regardless of how I feel, Speed is young and he's dumb. He has a very big platform in that he probably doesn't really know how to use. I think as he becomes older and wiser, he can learn to be a bit more productive with his platform and actually use it for very good things. And I don't think he deserves to be deplatformed. I didn't want him to get banned for the YouTube thing. It probably was just a mistake, and I don't think he should get banned for that. And I want him to do well, even if I really don't like his content at all. But I think there needs to be some change. Like, I think Speed needs to, like, grow up a little bit because he's flying so close to the sun. On top of that, his viewer base seems to revel in his anger and in chaos, and they seem to enjoy bullying and insulting him. I just don't think it's very healthy for him. So I'm rooting for IShowSpeed. I want him to be successful and keep being on the platform because maybe one day he'll accidentally show his asshole on stream and I can make another video about it. Like the video, subscribe for sex, and give me money. Take care, guys.